Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. I am Juliet and you're joining me today at Spoilt Rotten Beads, where I have been having so much fun painting cabochons. I'm going to show you now how to turn a plain glass cabochon like this into something amazing like this or this. It's hard to see at the moment with the video actually because I've got a light in front of me which really helps with the colours, but you can see the reflection of the light in my cabochon, so I try and if I try and angle that, there we go, so you can see it maybe without so much of the reflection of the light there. Every time I move it you can see that light moving, but when I turn the video on its side and I take a photo of them, then you'll be able to see them without that annoying reflection in there. But I am going to show you how to make these beautiful cabochons. So I'm going to have a go at two different effects with you. I'm going to show you how to make this lovely kind of mottled galaxy nebula effect, and then also I'm going to have a go at making something that will look a little bit more like a semi-precious stone, maybe a labradorite if you squint. Stick with me and I will show you how to have lots of fun playing with these cabochons. Okay, so I've turned my light off now so that you can really see these lovely cabochons without that annoying reflection from the light. So I'm just going to take you through the cabochons themselves, the equipment that we're going to use to make these beautiful effects. I think this one is my current favourite. It's kind of like a nebula effect. It's beautiful. And then I'm just going to show you how easy it is to create these beautiful painted cabochons. So what you'll need is just some plain glass cabochons, and you can find these guys over on our website www.spoiltrottenbeads.co.uk. We've got two different sizes of the round shape and two different sizes of the oval shape. You'll also need some cocktail sticks, and here's some I used earlier. You can see they're a bit messy now, but that's not a problem. You will need some nail polishes, and I've got a variety of different nail polishes here, so let me take you through them. I've got a really nice sparkly one here, and you can see that I've been using that on this cabochon here to create that. They look like stars. It does look like a nebula sky, I think, this one. It's really pretty. So that's just a plain sort of silver nail polish, and it's got different sizes of glitter in it. I've also got this glittery polish here as well, which is lovely because it's a pinky tone, but it's also got a gold to it as well, and that seems to work out really, really well. I used that one in this cabochon here, which in another video I'm going to show you how to make these into a lovely brooch like this one. So that's the polish that I used there. You will need some, you can have have a look for those kind of metallic-y shades of polish as well. So I've got two metallic shades here as well that I've used. I've used those in this grey kind of effect here, which I think kind of gives a little bit like the impression of labradorite, really. It's got that sort of flashes in it like you get in labradorite there. So the metallics are really good for those effects. And then just choose some sort of interesting colours as well. So I've got some lovely blues, and this is another metallic one here. Got a turquoisey and a deep blue. I've got some purpley shades. They've all got a little bit of a sparkle in them. It's quite lucky actually, because I'm a bit of a nail polish addict. My daughter will tell you that I cannot go past a cosmetic shop without buying nail polish. I just love it. This one is really fun as well. This one's quite funky because it's got bits in it, sort of a little strips, and looks like a little bit like snow. So that's quite a fun one to use too, for creating different effects. So just have a play, because we're going to be using nail polish. It doesn't matter if you don't like it, you go wrong. You can of course just use nail polish remover to take it off. So in addition to your polishes, you will also need some kitchen roll. It's a really good idea just to use kitchen roll rather than loo roll, because kitchen roll doesn't have those sort of fluffy bits in it that you get in tissues or toilet paper. So kitchen roll is a good thing to have to create these kind of stippled nebula effects. So that's a little bit about the equipment and things that you need. I'm going to turn my light back on in a moment, and I'm just going to show you how to get started. I'm going to have a go at creating this kind of nebula effect first of all for you. So we are going to have a go at creating this lovely nebula effect here first of all, which I think is really cool. So to do this, you take your plain glass cabochon, And you're going to start off with the glitter, because you want to start off with the glitter rather than the opaque colours, because you want your glitter to sit on the towards the front of the cabochon so that you can really see it, so it flashes through. So I'm going to give this one first of all a nice kind of big sort of smear of this kind of pinky glitter across the middle, just like that. Turn that over, you can just about see that there on that side, already looking pretty there. And then if we want to create this kind of nebula effect, there's two different ways of doing it. You can either just blob the nail polish on to create this kind of nebula effect. If I turn over, you can see how I've just blobbed the nail polish on the back of the piece, or you can kind of create more of a stippled effect like this one here, and that's where you use the kitchen roll. So here's the kitchen roll. I'm going to have a go at the kitchen roll technique. So first of all, I'm going to get my nice kind of pinky purpley shade, and I'm just going to put some of that there on my kitchen roll and just literally kind of stipple it onto the back of my cabochon. You can see that there. And you want to kind of just work quite quickly, because otherwise the nail polish obviously dries. So there we go, a bit more. There's a bit more of an effect there. So I'm happy with that colour, so I can move on to my next colour now. So I think I'm going to go with this lovely turquoisey shade. So I'm going to do the same thing. This is quite messy. You do end up with nail polish all over your hands, all over your work surface if you're not careful. So I'm just going to go with that turquoise. I'm just blobbing it on. Can turn it over and see what that's looking like. So it's beginning to look pretty already there. And then I think I might go for a darker blue. I'm not worried about letting things dry in between the coats. I'm going to go with this darker blue now, because you kind of want this kind of blended effect there. So blob on some of this darker blue. I'm not sure I've got enough there. There we go. Decent amount on my kitchen roll. Stipple that onto my cab, turn it over, and that's really pretty already. That's quite a subtle effect though, so if I want to sort of just build it up, I can do. So I might just go back to maybe a purple shade now. Let's just build up those colours on the back of the cabochon. There we go. Let me grab this purple. Here we go. Grab my kitchen roll. That's a nice decent amount there. So I'm just literally kind of patting it on, and that's what creates that stippled effect on the cab. And you can just keep building up those layers of colour until you're happy. I think I'm going to add a little bit more pink onto this one now. So much fun to do. There we go. If I turn that over and let you guys see that, it is looking really pretty. So that's the sort of stippled effect. And then if I want to, I'm going to leave that to dry for just a few minutes, and then I'm going to put some more glitter on the back, because that will just help it become a little bit more opaque so that you can't see through the cabochon. And I'm going to use that really funky glitter that I showed you earlier, because I think it goes nicely with those colours that we have chosen. You can really layer this up. Just have fun playing. It looks really pretty from this side actually. That looks gorgeous. But if I turn it over, you can see now you have got that full effect, that beautiful kind of nebula effect on the back of that cabochon. So that's really as easy as it is. I'm just going to leave that to dry now, and when it's dry I'll be able to bead with it. So I think that I need to show you now how to create a little bit more of a subtle effect to create these kinds of fake gemstone effects that we have got here and here. So I'd like to show you that next. So I'm going to pop that one I've just done over to dry and move across to some other nail polishes. And this is where you're going to use those cocktail sticks that I was talking about, because that's how you create the lines in these pieces. You see this one's got quite thick lines in it, whereas this one's a little more subtle, and this one again is kind of a cross between the two, really. Really pretty. These ones I've stuck onto some bead backing already, because in my next video I'm going to show you how to make one of these pieces into a lovely brooch like this one here. But let's have a go with this oval cabochon here at creating that kind of gemstone effect. So for this one you need some nice dark coloured polishes in order to make those lines across the piece. So I'm going to grab my dark colour polish and then I shall be right back with you. So now I've got my dark colour nail polish. I want to show you how to create these kind of more natural effect, the ones that kind of, they look a little bit more like a semi-precious stone. And for this you're going to need your cocktail sticks, because you can see how these have got lines across them. So that's what we're going to use. We're going to use the cocktail stick to create those lines across the cabochon. So I've got a black nail polish to do that with, and because I'm going to go for a kind of a labradorite feel, I'm going to be using a very fine goldy coloured polish, very fine metallic-y blue polish, a tiny bit of this super duper silver polish, and then this deep, it's like a very deep navy blue, and also this black which has got some glitter in it as well. And I'm going to have a play and see if I can create something that's a little bit more natural looking. So to begin with, I'm going to take my black polish and a cocktail stick. So I'm just going to paint the edge of my cocktail stick there with my black polish, and I am going to lay that down across my cabochon and create some lines across it. And have some sort of finer lines and some thicker lines there, some slightly smudgy lines. It's all fine, it's all kind of nice and organic looking, and I think I'm happy with those lines across there now. So I'm gonna let that dry for just a few moments. It doesn't have to be very dry, and then I'm gonna start with my glitters, because you want the glitters to be on as close to the surface as possible so that you can create that lovely effect. So I think what I'm going to do is just use a little bit of this silver glitter here, but I'm going to use it very sparingly because I want to look natural, but I just want to try and mimic those little flashes that you get every once in a while in the labradorite. So I'm just adding tiny little bits there, just little bits. If I turn it over you can just about see those there. They look a little bit like the flashes in a labradorite. So if you turn it over every once in a while, you can see the effect you're getting and decide whether you want to put a little bit more in there. Just like a little bit more. So I like my little flashes of sparkle every once in a while. So I was quite sparing with that one. But this is where I'm going to add a little bit more sparkle, but this is very fine. So this is a really fine metallic gold, because when you look at labradorite stone, it has often got a slight goldy tint to it, but it has got a lot of blue as well. So I'm going to combine these two very fine metallic-y colours here. And so this is my fine gold going on now. I'm just going to put some kind of flashes of this across my piece. I've not gone everywhere with it, left it nice and fine, because you can just build up the colours as you go, and you can just about see that now. It's starting to give that slight metallic sheen on the back of the stone there. And now I'm going to come in with this metallic blue, because of course labradorite has got a lot of blues in it, so I think I need quite a bit of this. So I'm pretty much covering this now, even over where I've done the gold, because I want to try and mimic that blue colour that you get in a labradorite stone. If I turn that over now, it's looking really pretty, but it's looking very pale at the moment. So what it's going to need in a little bit is going to need this deep blue and this black, but I'm going to let it dry for a minute so I can start to put some more deeper colours on there. So I shall come back to you when it's dried, and then I can build up the base colours there to create that depth effect. Okay, so this is kind of tacky dry now, so I won't smudge it if I build up that colour on the back there. I think it's starting to look really pretty, really dramatic. You can just see those flashes of that glitter every once in a while, and it has got that sort of bluish sheen that you get with a labradorite stone. Now I'm going to build up that colour with this. I've got sort of a dark navy blue here, and so I'm going to build this colour up. Just put a little bit on and then just turn it over so you guys can see that there starting to, you see it's darker in that corner there. That is the navy blue that I'm adding on now, and that will start to make it look a lot deeper and more blue from the front. So I'm going to paint a really nice thick layer of this on, and this might be all I need actually, because this is so nice and opaque, this colour. I don't think anything else is going to show through if I try and layer it up now. So I think this is going to be my final colour there. So I will let that dry now, but if I'm careful I can show you what it looks like already there. So that blue has just added some depth to the whole piece. You can just see it hinting on the edges there every once in a while. So very similar to these effects, but it's a slightly different. I'm just doing it slightly differently every time. With this one, as you know, I used the cocktail stick, but with this one, which has got kind of a slightly more of a natural effect, I did use the cocktail stick, but then when the nail polish was almost dry, I sort of scraped some of the lines off and narrowed them so that they became a little more subtle. This one is really, really dramatic and very, very pretty. A lot of people have said that this is their favourite. It's not such a natural look, but it's really pretty. So if I bring some of these cabs back into shot again, you can see how you can create these beautiful effects just using nail polish, kitchen roll and cocktail sticks. It's really simple. And on my next video, I'm going to show you how to turn these cabochons into a lovely brooch like that one right there. So thank you very much for watching, guys. You'll find the cabochons over on our website, www.spoiledrottenbeads.co.uk.